My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. And to read my writing and to see my latest CNN appearances and my MSNBC appearances, you can go to hagoodman.com. 67% of Americans distrust Hillary Clinton. They find Clinton not honest and trustworthy. Right now, according to Real Clear Politics, Donald Trump is up by 0.9 points over Hillary Clinton in an average of polls. He's beating her in a number of polls. So Trump is actually up by 0.9 points in an average of polls against the person who is supposed to be qualified, who's supposed to fight for you, who's supposed to be honest. This is what all the people at the Democratic Convention are telling you. Obviously, if 67% of Americans in general distrust Hillary Clinton, and it was something like 30% of Democrats, almost one out of three Democrats find her not honest and trustworthy. And Trump is already beating her in polls right now with everything that he's done, with all the crazy things he said. What does that tell you? What does that tell you about Hillary Clinton? And what does that tell you about the Democratic Convention? And also, what does it tell you about Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren going to bat for Hillary Clinton? Now, I love Bernie Sanders. I respect Bernie Sanders very much. What he did for America, what he did for the Democratic Party, what he did for the progressive movement, it's absolutely unbelievable. He fought and he battled for an entire year against a system that was completely rigged, a system that was tilted against him and favored Hillary Clinton. We know from the DNC emails, it started from the top, Debbie Wasserman, and we also know that they even tried to use his belief in God, different strategies to undermine him. They contacted the media. Everything was rigged. The DNC owes you money. That's a whole other story. I'm not going to debate whether or not he should have torn the whole thing down. I respect your opinion. To my amazing, awesome subscribers, a great many people say, he should have torn it down and all this stuff. That's fine. But he also would have experienced even more backlash from the media, even more pressure, even more insanity from the Clinton campaign. So he probably didn't want to put his family through that, and he probably didn't want to go through that as well. In addition to other concerns pertaining to perhaps Trump winning. The point, though, is this. Everybody knows that Hillary Clinton is a liar, who is corrupt, who is the best friend of Wall Street, and who is a neocon. Neoconservatives are openly backing Hillary Clinton. I wrote about this today. I have an article published in the Huffington Post. Dr. Jill Stein is the new Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, in my view, has passed the torch to Dr. Jill Stein. She's an amazing woman of the Green Party. You build that Green Party up. They cheated, and they think they've won, but they won't win. And they'll definitely respect your vote and respect you and rethink how they go about winning primaries. If that Green Party and Dr. Jill Stein grows in strength, and if you vote for Dr. Jill Stein, there are other options too. If you're conservative, there are other options. But Dr. Jill Stein is for me. My point, though, and I'm going to read you two things from Elizabeth Warren, two very powerful statements that really echo the sentiments of Bernie Sanders and really not only undermine any of the good things Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren said that they don't believe about Hillary Clinton. So the whole thing was a charade, a farce. It was acting class, essentially, or it was worse, some kind of invasion of the body snatchers, some kind of nightmare for a great many people, because we know that Bernie Sanders doesn't trust Hillary Clinton. We know that Bernie Sanders and we know that Elizabeth Warren both feel that Clinton is the epitome of corruption, of Wall Street influence in our government, of what a neocon is, a whole lot of things. But I'll just read you two statements. One is from Bill MOYERS. But, okay, this was basically what Elizabeth Warren feels, the true feelings of Elizabeth Warren. But then Hillary Clinton became senator. Warren describes what happened when the bankruptcy bill again came before the Senate shortly after Clinton was elected. So what happened? She basically tutored Hillary Clinton on a very dangerous bankruptcy bill. When she was First Lady. Then when she was Senator, completely different dynamic. Elizabeth Warren, she voted in favor of it. Bill MOYERS, why? Elizabeth Warren, as Senator Clinton, the pressures are very different. It's a well-financed industry. You know, a lot of people don't realize that the industry that gave the most to Washington over the past few years was not the oil industry, was not pharmaceuticals. It was consumer credit products. Those are the people. The credit card companies have been giving money, and they have influence. Bill Moyers. And Mrs. Clinton was one of them as senator. Elizabeth Warren. She has taken money from the groups, and more to the point, she worries about them as a constituency. And then she goes on, so Elizabeth Warren is saying that Hillary Clinton worries about lobbyists as a constituency. And we're supposed to trust, and we're supposed to believe that Elizabeth Warren thinks that Clinton is a champion. Give me a break. Elizabeth Warren, you know, this is the scary part of democracy today. We're talking again about the impact of money. This is the scary part of democracy, when you have Elizabeth Warren playing ball with Hillary Clinton. And not only that, I will go ahead, and this is exactly what Bernie knows this. Bernie Sanders knows exactly what Warren is saying, or what Warren said. They both have to play ball because they're Democrats. Democrats are like a big giant, just an organization, just a political party that has to rally around the nominee. So you run as a Democrat. Bernie was an independent his entire life, but if you run as a Democrat, you made the decision at the end of the primary fight or battle, even if they cheat every single step of the way. He might have signed something, who knows, but he was forced in some way to back Clinton. I will just read you one last thing. Senator Warren calls on House to strike repeal of Dodd-Frank provision from government spending bill. This was in 2014, December. United States Senator Elizabeth Warren spoke on the Senate floor this afternoon to urge the House of Representatives to remove the government funding bill, a reckless provision that would repeal important financial protections in Dodd-Frank. This is the famous quote, Citigroup literally wrote part of the bill. This is what Elizabeth Warren said. And she fought for this in 2014. She made a big name for herself fighting for this. And she actually says, that raises a simple question. Why? If this rule brings more stability to our financial system, if this rule prevents future government bailouts, why in the world would anyone want to repeal it, let alone hold the entire government hostage in order to ram through the repeal? The reason, unfortunately, is simple. It's about money, and it's about power. Because while this legal change could pose serious risk to our entire economy, it also makes a lot of money for Wall Street banks. According to Americans for Financial Reform, this change will be a huge boon to just a handful of our biggest banks, Citigroup, JP Morgan, and Bank of America. Guess who? Citigroup, JP Morgan, and Bank of America, and all the major banks. People from those major banks have been large contributors to Hillary Clinton for years, for a long time. Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders know this. Bernie Sanders is also more focused on foreign policy than Warren from a progressive standpoint. He's against perpetual wars. Neoconservatives, there's an Intercept article yesterday. Neoconservatives are openly backing Hillary Clinton. So what I'm saying to you is this. Yes, the facade, the charade, the acting class, or the Academy Awards that we've seen yesterday with Bernie Sanders and with Elizabeth Warren, saying that, oh, you should trust Clinton, she's a champion. This is not reality. The reality is, for whatever reason, you can debate, we can all debate, for whatever reason, they are defending a person they know is in bed with Wall Street because they think Trump is worse. I don't think Trump is worse. 4 years of Trump we'll live through. Okay, 4 years of Hillary Clinton merging Republicans and Democrats on war and foreign policy on Wall Street, catering to every single special interest. No, Democrats aren't supposed to be that way. Democrats are supposed to be like Bernie Sanders, or what we thought Elizabeth Warren was. Warren stated in 2014, the money, the influence of a Citigroup actually changes laws. She stated to Bill Moyers that that lobbyists are actually a constituency of Hillary Clinton. And God bless Bernie. He stated time and again the same things as Warren, and even more regarding Wall Street and perpetual wars and a rigged economy and everything, and how corrupt Washington is. Now both of them are defending the most corrupt, the biggest liar in Washington. The biggest liar in American politics. Just ask James Comey. Everything he actually stated, no, that's not true. Half the time to Congress, no, that's not true. No, she did have classified. No, she did. There was marked classified, yeah. No, she should have known. That's true. No, she was wrong. No, yeah, that's actually sophisticated hackers. Everything he stated was something that I said, except the indictments. He couldn't find intent. So that's how corrupt everything is. Okay. Or he didn't want to find intent. The point is, do not believe the hype or the show or what you know not to be true. That's what this segment is about. Elizabeth Warren, in her own words, and Bernie Sanders, in his own words, have stated that they wanted to fight, and they have fought against money and political and lobbying influence within our political system. Hillary Clinton embodies that. Why they chose to defend Clinton, I'm not going to debate right now. But we do know that they don't believe what they're saying, and we do know, one thing we do know, how they treated Bernie Sanders and how they undermined him and how they cheated him. We know that deep inside, Bernie does not want to endorse Hillary Clinton, but he has to because he ran as a Democrat. And I still love and respect Bernie. Warren should have endorsed Bernie Sanders. That would have been huge. And she didn't endorse Bernie, and I don't know why. You can debate that below. Thank you so much for listening. Don't believe what you know not to be true. Okay. And you know that Bernie Sanders, in every single way, is the antithesis of Hillary Clinton. We all know this. Thank you so much for listening.